Hello, hi everyone. A very good afternoon to you. This is Neha, your master teacher for economics, and I warmly welcome you all to Vedantu Commerce. How are you guys? Great, amazing? Very well. Hi Malaika. Hello, I'm doing very well. So today, what are we starting? We are going to be starting determination of income and employment, and today we are going to be discussing aggregate demand and its components. Yes, such an interesting topic we are going to be taking up today, right? Now I hope you all are all ready with your doubts and pen and paper to write down. Hi Komal. So welcome मेरे लक्ष्य के बच्चों, class 12th. This is your schedule for the day. I'm here for you 2 p.m. aggregate demand and its components को लेके. Then for maths 10:15 p.m. पे आदित्य आर्य is going to come. दिशा मैम 5 o'clock पे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज के ऊपर आपके लिए लेके आने वाली है. हाय मोनिका. And then term 2 उड़ान बैच हमारा that is class 11th का बैच. Final accounts with adjustments. Amazing guys. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel. जितने बच्चे हैं जल्दी से वीडियो को फटाफट कर दो like, share and subscribe. For your upcoming notes as well as session updates आपके लिए एक टेलीग्राम चैनल भी है. तो यहाँ पर वेदांतु कॉमर्स के नाम पे से ये चैनल है. लिंक पे इसका डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में इसका लिंक भी है. You can go ahead and join the same. Okay, Malaika, you are waiting. Okay, hi Raj, I'm doing very well and I hope the same from you. The determination of income and employment. Let's start. Today we are going to be discussing aggregate demand and its components. ठीक है? Learning objective क्या है? That what is the meaning of aggregate demand? First thing. Secondly, what is aggregate demand made up of? What is the component of aggregate demand? Then aggregate supply, components of your aggregate supply. ठीक है जी? Very simple. आज हम इतना डिस्कस करने वाले मतलब aggregate demand and aggregate supply को what are these and what are these made up of? I'm going to be discussing those things with you. ठीक है? Okay. So let's start. Now, anyone knows what is aggregate demand? Aggregate demand क्या होती है? मैं आपको जनरल नॉर्मल आपने डिमांड पढ़ा हुआ है क्लास 11th का? Yes, everyone studied demand. Easy chapter. And हमारे डिमांड चैप्टर के साथ आपके पास एक मार्केट डिमांड भी था. Do you remember that? Market demand was also there. Agreed? ये थर्ड टाइप का डिमांड क्या आ रहा है? अग्रीगेट डिमांड. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड. सो व्हाट वाज डिमांड? कैन समवन एक्सप्लेन इट टू मी दैट व्हाट इज डिमांड? एनीवन अटेम्प्ट करो जरा. डिमांड क्या होता है? व्हाट वाज डिमांड? Willingness of the consumers to buy a commodity. हाय नानी, बताइए जल्दी से. Satisfying power of a person. Want satisfying power? नहीं बेटा, वो तो यूटिलिटी होती है. और कुछ और कुछ? डिमांड डिमांड DAW पढ़ा था हमने. Desire, ability as well as willingness of a single person to buy a commodity. Yes. Then we had what? बेटा अभी नॉर्मल डिमांड की बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. Then comes your market demand. So डिमांड की जब हम बात करते हैं, how many consumers were there? One consumer. And we were speaking about one commodity. Right? Then when your market demand came, we were speaking about all the consumers and what were they buying? What were they buying? They were buying one commodity only. ठीक है. तो डिमांड क्या था हमारा? थोड़ा माइक्रो एस्पेक्ट था. इट वॉज अ लिटिल smaller aspect. We were only and only bothered about what? We were only bothered about one commodity. Demand may be or market demand may be. The only thing was कि demand was just for one consumer and market demand was for all the consumers, that how much are they willing to buy that particular commodity. हाँ जी. अभी aggregate demand क्या आ गया? Aggregate demand, as we all know, is our macro concept. What type of a concept is this? Macro. And demand and market demand क्या था हमारा? Micro concepts था. So aggregate demand जब ये macro bigger point of view से बात करते हैं, तो all consumers we are going to speak about, and we are going to be speaking about not just one commodity but all the goods and services. So all commodities. Got it? Is it okay? यहां तक समझ में आया सबको? So when I say aggregate demand, now aggregate demand refers to the total value of all final goods and services that are planned to buy by all the sectors of the economy at the given level of income. Income is Y, during a period of time. That period of time is usually what? That period of time is usually 1 year. ठीक है, इतना आ गया आपको समझ में. Now, total value of all final goods and services. Why is it planned? Why am I saying it is planned? This is a plan that ठीक है, सारे के सारे लोग इतना डिमांड करेंगे. We have to plan ahead. Economics is just building up models. We are building a model कि चलो अगर इतना डिमांड हुआ तो हम फिर इतना सप्लाई लेकर आएंगे. तो ये हमारी इनकम एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट में लेवल ऑफ क्या हो जाएगा? इक्विलिब्रियम आने के लिए. राइट? नाउ दिस इज प्लान. दिस इज नॉट एट ऑल एक्चुअल. Now all the sectors. How many sectors do we know about? How many sectors do we know about? जल्दी बताओ. कितने सेक्टर होते हैं? How many sectors? 4. Yes. What are these 4? What are these 4? सबसे फर्स्ट आ रहा है हमारे पास हाउस होल्ड्स, राइट. दिस इज व्हाट, कंजम्पशन. इक्विलिब्रियम बेटा बैलेंस है, वो मैं बाद में बताऊंगी आपको, ठीक है. सी, देन कम्स योर इन्वेस्टमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर, दैट इज डन बाय हूम, बिजनेस पीपल. बेटा 4 सेक्टर होते हैं. देन गवर्नमेंट इज योर जी. देन योर foreign sector is your X minus M, whatever exports you do minus whatever imports you are doing from a country, right? So these are all the 4 sectors of your economy, right? Let's see. So AD represents total expenditure on goods as well as services in an economy during a period of time, right? What are the components that are there? अभी मैंने आपको बता दिया कि aggregate demand के हमारे पास कितने components होने वाले. We have your C, that is the households, and the I, that is your investment expenditure done by the businessmen. Then we have your G, that is your government expenditure, and we have your X minus M, that is your exports minus your imports. Right, Jonathan? Yes, very good. ठीक है. Now, बहुत बड़ा हो रहा है equation, isn't it? So we are going to be assuming that we have just 2 sector model. ये तो 4 sector model का आ गया. This is what, a 4 sector model. ये 4 sector model का formula आ गया. But let's say that we don't have government and we don't have any foreign sector. Can we assume? Yes, we can assume. We can assume anything. So aggregate demand in a 2 sector model will be the goods and services which are demanded by you, that is the consumer or the households, and goods and services required by the firm, I. Simple. This is the formula. Got it? Very easy formula. C plus I, that is consumption, plus investment that is done by the households. Are we okay with it? Yes. So household consumption expenditure, investment expenditure, third was your government consumption expenditure, and net of exports. ये हमारे पास 4 चीजें आई थी. Household expenditure is incurred by you, that is the household, on purchase of goods and services in a year. Then we have your investment expenditure, that is your investments by all the private firms. ठीक है? Then government expenditure, we all know that government also spends. Government buys goods, consumer goods as well as capital goods. Government का जो share है वो, and exports and imports को minus कर देंगे. ठीक है? तो normally 4 sector model में, if I speak about aggregate demand, all the 4 things should have come. C plus I plus G plus X minus M. But we are believing कि हमारे पास सिर्फ हाउसहोल्ड है और सिर्फ फर्म्स हैं. दैट इज ओनली द कंज्यूमर एंड द प्रोड्यूसर इज देयर इन द इकोनॉमी. देयर इज नो गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर एंड देयर इज नो फॉरेन सेक्टर. सो 2 सेक्टर इकोनॉमी में छोटा हो गया, ये सिर्फ इतना सा रह गया. ओके, C plus I. Got it? So this is how it is going to look like. Now, इसमें मैं आपको थोड़ी सी चीजें और एक्सप्लेन करना चाह रही हूँ बिफोर आई शो यू द schedule. When I speak about C, that is the consumption expenditure, there are 2 types of consumption expenditures. Okay? C is of 2 types. One is autonomous, right? One is what? Autonomous. Autonomous means that is not based on the income you are earning. Okay. Okay, now let me ask you one thing. Do you all have any income? आप लोग की कोई income है क्या? नहीं? या छोटे बेबीज होते हैं उनकी कोई इनकम होती है क्या? या anyone who is asking money on the streets उनकी इनकम होती है? नहीं. But do you all consume something? Do you all eat food? Do you all watch movies, go to a theater, and do you all buy clothes, shopping करते हो? And educational expenses you all are having? Yes. So your expenditure or your consumption that is there is not based on what? On the income. Because your income is what? Zero. So when your income is zero and still you are having some consumption, that is termed as what? That is termed as autonomous consumption. What is it termed as? Autonomous. Right? You all don't have income. Income, that is y equals to 0, but still you all consume. That is autonomous consumption. Next, if I am spending something, right? If I am spending something, I am earning. Okay. Now, if my consumption is based on my income, कि यार मैंने ना ज़्यादा मेरी इन सैलरी आएगी तो मैं ज़्यादा शॉपिंग करूँगी, ज़्यादा सैलरी आएगी मैं कहीं और घूमने जाऊँगी, कम सैलरी आएगी थोड़ा कम खर्चा करेंगे, right? This is based on what? On the level of income that I am earning. Got it? This is termed as induced consumption. Okay? This is B based on Y. Y is your income. So when I say C, consumption, it is made up of autonomous consumption and induced consumption. तुम्हारी भी consumption लेंगे, मेरी भी consumption लेंगे. हाँ जी? Got it? So this is about consumption. That is your household part that I am explaining here. Next thing I want to explain is your investment expenditure. This is done by whom? The firms. Okay. So for the sake of simplicity, ISPE I am not taking induced expenditure of firms. I am assuming that I have only and only autonomous expenditure here. What do I have here for the firms? See, it's assumption, right? I can take any assumption. Okay. So for firms, we are not taking any induced expenditure. We are only and only going to be taking autonomous. And इसके लिए क्या था? Autonomous plus induced. Right? This is what we've taken. So now let's look at a schedule. This is your income. This is your aggregate demand schedule. Schedule is nothing but it's a table. National income 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. As you all know, consumption is made up of autonomous as well as induced. Even if your income is 0, consumption can never be equal to 0. Sorry. Just a minute. So even if your income is 0, consumption will never be equal to 0. Consumption is always and always positive. This is because of your autonomous consumption. The consumption that is not based on the income. वो हम पुरानी savings निकाल रहे हैं, जो कर रहे हैं वो सब हम कर रहे हैं. Right? Now, national income 0. My consumption is 20. Look here, this is I. This is autonomous investment that I am speaking about. This doesn't change with the level of income. This is autonomous. This is going to remain same. So, ये throughout same रहेगा. हमने 20 पे इसको फिक्स कर दिया. Okay. So now consumption. This is my consumption. And what was my aggregate demand formula? That was C plus I. C plus I. Let's add 20 plus 20, 40, 25, 20, 45, and so on. Got it? This is your aggregate demand schedule. We can see as your income is increasing, your consumption is also increasing. Why is it increasing? It is increasing because of the induced part, BY wala part. As your income increases, your consumption increases. आपका खर्चा बढ़ता है जब आपका income बढ़ती है तो, ठीक है? This is how your aggregate demand curve is going to look like. Let's draw. I draw करेंगे सबसे पहले investment. That is going to be autonomous. यहाँ पर कर दिया हमने I. Now I have a C. Right? The C is what? Autonomous plus induced. Autonomous को आप A भी लिख सकते हो या C bar भी लिख सकते हो, छोटा C bar. वो C से थोड़ा confusion हो रहा था तो I have given it another variable that is A. ठीक है जी? This is how it's going to look like. C plus I. Now what is my aggregate demand is going to be? Yes, you can type in your doubts. What is aggregate demand going to be? Aggregate demand formula C plus I. So this is C, this is I. Let's add up. You're going to get aggregate demand, that is C plus I. ठीक है? Okay. Okay. You can watch the video from the beginning, beta. समझ में आ जाएगा. ठीक है? Now, what this was all about your aggregate demand. Got it? Let's see. Aggregate demand आ गया हमारे पास. Now, what was the next component that we have to speak about? That was aggregate supply. Same way जैसे हमने supply को समझा था, we had individual supply as your micro concept. Individual supply, that was for one producer or one firm and one commodity. ठीक है जी? Next, what it can be? Next was your market supply. Market supply was all producers but we were just speaking about one commodity only. Right? Aggregate supply, when I speak about, it is all producers. It's a macro concept again. So all producers plus all the commodities, whatever, all the goods, all the services we are speaking about. Okay? So this is your aggregate supply. Let's have a definition. Look at the definition, please. Here. Aggregate supply is the money value of all final goods and services available for purchase in an economy during a given period of time. Okay? Now, tell me one thing. ये जब definition आपने देखी, aggregate supply as the money value of all final goods and services produced या available by an economy during a given period of time. ये definition थोड़ी सुनी सुनी सी लगी कि नहीं लगी? कैसे सुना? क्या हमें समझ में आया ये definition में? What did we understand here? that aggregate supply is nothing but aggregate supply तो हमारी national income है. Yes, ये तो national income है. That's assumption बेटा. Autonomous consumption, why is it fixed मतलब? ऑटोनॉमस इन्वेस्टमेंट की बात कर रहे हो बेटा, आप आई की बात कर रहे हो. दैट इज फिक्स्ड, दैट इज नॉट चेंजिंग बिकॉज वी आर बिलीविंग दैट इट इज नॉट चेंजिंग विद द लेवल ऑफ इनकम. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज फिक्स्ड. अजम्पशन है, उसका क्या करेंगे. ठीक है. सो अग्रीगेट सप्लाई की जो डेफिनेशन दिख रही है हमें, दैट इज नथिंग बट नेशनल इनकम. गॉट इट. एंड इनकम के साथ आप क्या कर सकते हो, व्हाट कैन बी डन विथ नेशनल इनकम. Aggregate supply is nothing but your national income. And income के साथ हम सिर्फ दो ही चीजें कर सकते हैं. That is either you can consume it, या तो expenditure कर दो, खर्चा कर दो, या फिर savings कर लो उसकी. Right? Only two things can be done with your income. या तो खर्चा या savings. So this is your aggregate supply. Your aggregate supply is nothing but your consumption plus your savings. ओके. तो ये हमारे पास थर्ड थिंग भी आ गई. C प्लस I तो था, that was for your aggregate demand. Now we have C plus S also. Right? Now what are the components? Two components were so हमारे इसके components क्या हो जाते हैं aggregate supply के? Nothing but whatever we've produced. So four components were your wages, rent, interest as well as profit. ठीक है. That is nothing but your national income. Right? Here it is. How is it? Same. So wages, rent, interest as well as profit is compensation of employees. Wages was compensation of employees. Plus rent, interest and profit is part of your operating surplus. NDPFC आ गया. जब हम compensation of employees and operating surplus को add करते हैं, what do we get? We get NDPFC, domestic product, net domestic product at factor cost I get here. ठीक है जी. Just a minute. Net domestic product at factor cost I get here. Now NNP बनाना है हमें. डोमेस्टिक को क्या करना है? डोमेस्टिक को मुझे नेशनल लेकर आना है. I will have to add up what? I will have to add up your savings in it. ठीक है जी. तो हमने इसको सेम करने के लिए क्या किया? NNPFC बनाया, तो नेट नेशनल प्रोडक्ट एट फैक्टर कॉस्ट आ गया. So consumption plus savings, if we'll add this up, this is going to be your aggregate supply. That is C plus S. ठीक है. This is your aggregate demand schedule. Sorry, aggregate supply schedule. National income. Even if your income is zero, your consumption can never be zero. And if your consumption is something but income नहीं है, तो पैसे कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? पैसे आ रहे हैं आपके नेगेटिव सेविंग से. You are taking money out of your savings because अगर income zero है and still you are doing खर्चा, still you are consuming, means income is coming from your savings. So negative savings is your dis savings. What do we call it? Dis savings. Right? So let's see. As your consumption increases, as your income increases, your consumption also increases and your savings are also more. ठीक है? So this is your aggregate supply. C plus S. This is your aggregate supply curve. 45 degree angle बनता है हमारा. This is your aggregate supply. Consumption and savings are here. This is your national income. Right? Okay. So this is the homework for the day, everyone. Aggregate demand can be increased by. How can you increase aggregate demand, guys? By increasing the bank rate, by selling government securities by Reserve Bank of India, increasing the cash reserve ratio, या none of the above. Okay. Session खत्म होने के बाद do answer in the chat box if you know answer of this. So we are done. We had to complete our aggregate demand. That is C plus I, and aggregate supply, that was your C plus S for the day. Right? Next class, I am going to be doing with you propensity to consume and propensity to save. So continued on Thursday 2 p.m. sharp, everyone. And थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करना पड़ेगा मुझे कि ये बिजनेस स्टडीज का एग्जाम कैप्सूल क्या है. So Vedantu has brought a very special offer for you guys, business studies exam capsule. ठीक है, मतलब ये कैप्सूल लो, खा लो, बिजनेस स्टडीज बन जाने वाला है. ठीक है, क्लास 12th स्टूडेंट्स आपके लिए बैच स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 14th of March 2022. This is the schedule. Staffing, directing, controlling, financial management, financial market, consumer protection, and full course at a glance. This is what your schedule is going to look like. And price क्या है? Price है only 224 rupees. Right guys? So 249 का already ये कैप्सूल था. डिस्काउंट हो गया है 10% एंड कूपन कोड जब आप लगाओगे NRPRO तब ये स्पेशल प्राइस आपको मिलेगा 224 रुपीज का ये कोर्स. राइट? सो गाइस मैं आपको दिखा देती हूँ आपको कहां से मिलने वाला है. दिस इज योर डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स. यहाँ नीचे ऑल वेदांतु कोर्सेज आर एट डिस्काउंट, बिजनेस स्टडीज कैप्सूल, केस स्टडीज कराएंगे हम इसमें. ओके गाइस, सो कौन कराने वाला है? दिस कोर्स इज स्पेशली डिजाइंड बाय CMA दिशा दुआ मैम. दिशा दुआ मैम को तो आप जानते ही हो, शी टेक्स अप योर यूट्यूब क्लासेस. नाउ पूरा का पूरा आपका बिजनेस स्टडीज का केस स्टडीज एंड 2, 3, 5 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चंस, केस बेस्ड पास्ट एग्जामिनेशन के पूरे क्वेश्चंस, पूरा आपका 1 अप्रैल तक कंप्लीट हो जाने वाला है एट 249 रुपीज. बट आप 10% और डिस्काउंट ले सकते हो इफ यू अप्लाई द कूपन कोड NRPRO. ठीक है जी, आप यहां जाइए एंड डू ज्वाइन इन दिस. बाय नाउ करना एंड लॉग इन करके यू कैन बाय दिस कोर्स एवरीवन. राइट? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share it with all your friends. For your upcoming notes as well as session updates, we have our Telegram group. Telegram group का link भी description box में आने वाला है. Vedantu Commerce is the name for it. So see you guys in the next class. And thank you so much for watching. This is Neha signing off for the day. Take care and have a very nice day. Bye bye.